Hello, good evening, people of God. I just wanted to come on here and encourage you as I am being encouraged even now in my spirit to do what the Lord is telling me to do. It's not going to take long. But I was walking through the house. I was looking out the window and with some snow out there. And I was like, oh, I'm kind of bored. Nothing left to do. And so I began just like I do. I'm not a singer, but I'm going to sing these words. Nothing left to do, nothing left to prove. I'ma keep on moving, keep right on moving. Nothing left to do, nothing left to prove. I'ma keep on moving, keep right on moving. 'Cause there's nothing left to do, nothing left to prove. I'ma keep on moving, keep right on moving with my love. So as I was just chanting that, at first I just kept saying nothing left to do, and then words just started coming. And as I'm saying this and singing this, and my grandson, he came behind me, he started backgrounding me with his little whatever he does. And I remember as I'm singing it, the Spirit said, do you remember that's what Jesus had to do? He had to keep on moving with his love. My God, I had a vision, and I'm not going to get the entire vision, but in this vision, people that I love, family members, in this dream, it was like an issue that came up, uproar. It was like I'd gotten upset about something. I began to tell them how I felt, and this young man, I don't know who he was in this dream, but I know he was family. His face wasn't really familiar. And he began to say to me, if you don't like what we do here, you can just get out. And they began to throw all of my stuff like out the back door. And I don't live in a trailer, but in this particular dream, it was a trailer. And they threw all of my stuff and all of my family that was in this house. I mean, everybody was relatives. Not one person decided to help me. And as I was leaving out, I heard one uncle come into the house, and he said, have y'all gotten rid of her yet? And I woke up out that dream. It's been maybe a whole week. And I woke up out that dream so distraught, so hurt. And as I'm singing this song, I was talking about the snow, and then the Lord said, that's what you got to do. Keep on moving. And I want you to know that today, this night, that there is nothing left to do, nothing left to prove. And you may not sing it the way I sing it. You may have a better voice, a better tune, but you got to keep on moving, keep right on moving with his love, the love that God has given to you. And I'm going to read this. This is when Jesus kept moving. He went to his family, where he was raised at, where he was brought up at, and they rejected him. They didn't want to hear from him because he was Joseph's child. My God. And so it says he came to Nazareth where he had been raised. And as he always did on the Sabbath, he went to the meeting place. When he stood up to read, he was handed the scroll of the prophet Isaiah. Unrolling the scroll, he found the place where it was written, God's Spirit is on me. He's chosen me to preach the message of good news to the poor. Sent me to announce pardon to prisoners and recovery of sight to the blind, to set the burdened and battered free, to announce this is God's time to shine. And it says, he rolled up the scroll, handed it back to the assistant, and sat down. Every eye in the place was on him, intent. Then he started in. You've just heard scripture make history. It comes true just now in this place. All who were there watching and listening were surprised at how well he spoke. But they also said, isn't this Joseph's son? The one who we've known since he was just a kid. He answered, I suppose you're going to quote the proverb, doctor, go heal yourself. Do here, and he says, do here in your hometown what we heard you did in Capernaum. Well, let me tell you something. No prophet is ever welcome in his hometown. Isn't it a fact that there were many widows in Israel at the time of Elijah during that 3.5 years of drought when famine devastated the land? But the only widow to whom Elijah was sent was in Sarepta in Sidon. And there were many lepers in Israel at the time of the prophet Elijah, but the only one cleansed was Naaman the Syrian. That set everyone in the meeting place when he began to tell them and remind them of the old, what had already taken place. They got upset, the Bible says, and they got anger because he's talking about these Gentiles, my God, that God sent him to Elijah to. And because his people didn't accept Jesus, the Jews didn't accept Jesus, guess what? That's why why the Gentiles were able to come in, my God. So that angered them. They threw him out, banished him from the village, then took him to a mountain cliff at the edge of the village to throw him to his doom. And I began to remember the dream I had. I was up high. And I didn't see nobody living in no trailer where it's that high up. And I was high. It was like I was so like on a, apartment complex. But it was a trailer, but it looked like an apartment complex because we was like looking like it was up on the stories, in a building. And they were throwing all my stuff, just throwing it out. And then I went to get my pictures off the wall because it was like, just get everything that, and I kept wondering why my pictures have been removed from it was like a family photo thing, but my picture wasn't there. And then I looked, I said, these ain't my photo. They weren't my photo, the little things you put your pictures in, whatever they call. I said, these aren't mine, but my picture was used to be there, but it was removed. But they were throwing, and nobody in that house that was related to me even assisted. Everybody acted like they wasn't a part of it, like they didn't know me. And so God began to remind me as I'm singing this song, these few words, it's not a lot of words. He reminded me that you got to move on. He was showing me in that vision. I couldn't understand. I asked God for revelation. What does this mean, God? What should I be? What do I need to be watchful about something? Show me. And he began to reveal it just through these few words. And he says right here, after let me move on down because my phone went up. They threw him out, banishing him from the village. Then took him to a mountain cliff at the edge of the village to throw him to his doom. But he gave them the slip. And this is what the Lord is saying for us today. And was on his way. That means you got to keep on moving. You cannot stay in that place. I don't care who rejects you in this year, in this season of your life. Please move on. Do not stay in that place. And the Lord told me this over a year ago, people. He said, you're not going to be able to belly ache for long over somebody's, my God, heartache, what they do to you when they break your heart, when they reject you. This is going to be, I didn't know when he was talking about, but he's telling me now, this is the year, this is the season. You can't stay in a place of grief over what other people have done to you. My God, because there's nothing left to do. There's nothing left to prove. You got to keep on moving. And I'm going to sing it again. I may get the tune a little bit out, but that's all right. Nothing left to do. Nothing left to prove. I'm going to keep on moving. Keep right on moving. Nothing left to do. Nothing left to prove. I'm going to keep on moving. Keep right on moving with my love. So I want you to know that this very day. I want you to stamp that in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, to know that you have nothing else to do or prove to those that have decided that you're not worth it. Because you're worth it. My God. And if you keep trying to prove your worth, listen here, you're going to end up losing your place where you're supposed to be. You got to go to the next place. You got to move. And if you stay stuck in those feelings, oh my God, of what other people do or how they feel about you, look, they did that last year. They did that the year before. They treated you that way last year. And I'm telling you, this year when it happens, when they do that, when they offer you their butt this year, keep on moving. Because the Lord told me to tell you that he has to allow it to happen. Why? Because that's the only way you're going to get enough. My God, ain't you tired of being rejected and sitting there like a dog waiting on somebody's bone, on somebody's handout, as if you don't have a father that loves you? He said it's time now. Not next year, my God, this year. And you never need to look back again. There ain't nothing to prove. I looked out there, see that snow. I said, oh, Lord, I'm bored. Ain't nothing left to do. And he began to speak in my spirit. You never know how the Holy Ghost, how your angel is coming to speak to you. Because he's always there to assist you. But sometimes you got to get tired enough of what you want so you can hear what God's saying. And he is saying to us on this very day, my God, that it's not about the weather. That ain't what make it cold. It's the love that is wax cold and others hard. But what do you got to prove? What is else left to do nothing. It's time to move on. Not this year. Don't you allow another year in your life, in this place that God has given you to have what he has for you. Don't let people. And this is what he's saying in my spirit. It's like, man, it's like he just streamed through me. Like a portal opened up as I'm walking through my living room singing this song. And then I began to just imagine, my God, I have nothing to prove. I don't have anything else to do. I've done what I'm supposed to. I've loved how he told me to. I gave what I was supposed to give. I shared my heart when I should have. Now what else I got to prove? And he's telling whoever listens to this message, stop trying to prove who you are. Man said today, he spoke into my spirit, and I'm speaking into yours. People don't have to have a reason to dislike you. They don't have to have a reason. People that want to see you fall make a mess. They make up lies so other people can follow what they say. But you got more people for you. I'm telling you, but you ain't met them yet. Because you're so busy trying to stay connected to people that don't want to be connected to you. You're so busy trying to prove, if you ever watched the show The Empire, and Terrence Howard was the father for that young man, I can't think of his name, Smollett, whatever his name is. Anyway, he had a different lifestyle that his father didn't approve of, and all he was trying to do was prove that he was, worth it. He said, he began to sing a song, but I'll never be good enough. But does that mean you ain't good enough? Not for them. Because they don't think you're valuable. Some people treat you like you're a threat, but there are some that know you're an asset. So you better know, my God, in this year. Don't wait till next year to get this. Get it this year. Don't let them do you like that another year in your life. Not another day. Remove anything that God said. Listen. See, you don't have to give me a seat to sit in at your house. You don't have to offer me in your door. I got a seat at the table. And if you don't live your life, I don't care how you may have to cry on your pillow at night because of the pain of the memory of what you lost. But you are still gaining. Because when it's all said and done, you know where your hope is in. And if you don't want to listen, if you don't want to take the place God is giving you, he'll give it to somebody else. He told me before I come on here, before I leave, I wasn't going to come on here because I I can't sing, Lord. I don't even know if this I don't want this to be my ego. He said, if you don't do it, I'm going to give it to somebody else. Now, you don't want your seat at the table. You want your seat with all these other folk that don't want you at the table. You keep passing by the table that God got for you. Somebody else going to sit in it. You better sit at that table that God has for you because you are worth it because he made you worth it. My God. So when they don't think you're worth it, when they don't think you're important, you better know who you are in this year, this season, in this hour, not tomorrow, but right now, today. There's nothing left for you to do to prove who you are to folk that have already decided that you are not important, that you are not valuable, you are not enough. And why do they feel that way? Because there's a light that they don't have in themselves, that they can't understand how you can be so good to them when they are so dirty to you. They can't get it. But God said, what you got to prove? You've done all. As long as you know you've done your part. My God, and I don't care what you do for folk that don't like you, it'll never be enough. And you up here trying to prove, I'm telling you what we do as people. Everybody have experienced this. Some of us are deep in this. We try to prove to our husband. We try to prove to our wife. We try to prove to our children. We try to prove to our boss. We want to prove to our pastor. We want to prove to everybody we worth it. But who made you worth it? It wasn't man. God did. He looked down and saw even though you had some faults, he saw your needs. So he made you worth it when you wasn't worth it. When you was a filthy rag, a wretch undone, he made you worth it. He gave you a seat at the table. My God. That's why he said you can bless your enemy. You can pray for them that despitefully use you. You can feed them even when they leave you starving. Ask Joseph. But he had to stop trying to prove that I am your little brother. Your own brothers, your oldest brothers, jealous of your coat of many colors. Jealous of the fact that you have a dream, and the dreams was to protect them, to preserve them. But what did he have to prove? He had nothing to prove to that woman that wanted him to lay with her. He ran up out of there. He kept on moving. Come on, you got to keep moving. You can't get stuck. No more, not this year. We did that last year. We cried on our pillow over somebody else's feelings about us. Not this year. So there's nothing left to do, nothing left to prove. Just like I'm about to move on up out this room, you better keep on moving with the love of God that he's giving you. And take the time for the people that want you, that desire what you have to give. My God, you are a treasure, my God. And just because they haven't opened you, don't mean that you don't belong. You better know, my God, you're a treasure that's waiting to be found. So go in peace and go in Jesus. And I love you.